Good morning, guys, and welcome back to T2SMC Trader. I hope everyone is cool. So, I have already talked about the London session around 2 hours ago, I guess, 2 to 3 hours ago, and I have shown you 8 trading days. The result was for win for no trade, but there was not even a single losing trade. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be a losing proof. There will be some days there you will take some losing trade as well, but still, in my opinion, that is really awesome. So if you find it useful, use that logic. I hope you'll be profitable by trading the London session, in my opinion. So please make sure that you have studied that, you have observed the price action in live, or you can do the back test. Then, of course, you will take your decision. I'm just going to remove everything, all of them. I'm just and coming back to weekly chart. By the way, guys, can you hear me? If there is anyone, please let me know if you can hear me. If there is any technical issues, let me know that as well. And perfect. Okay, Tamimi. Good morning, Tamimi. How are you? Hey, Jamil. Good morning, brother. Bom dia. Muito bem, obrigado, senhor. Tudo bem? Hassan. Hey, brother. How are you? Donaldo. Good morning, brother. Sharada. Can hear you. Thank you so much, brother, for confirming that at least you guys can hear me. Make sure that you have pushed the like button. That's all I'm asking for. Uh, like 24 people are watching, 5 likes. Can you guys please push the like button? I'm solely here to explain the price action. That is my job. Except explaining the price action, I have no intention to give you the signal to be a profitable trader. I'm not interested to do that. Don't treat me as a signal provider. If you really would love to stay over here, make sure that you are solely depending on the learning price action. Livingston, good morning, brother. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Jamil. There is no technical issues then. I hope so. Let's talk about this price action a bit, okay? So this is a clear chart from Nasdaq, and I'm going to show you these things: low, high, lower low. Wanna see the lowest body and highest body through my standard deviation. So I'm going to put it inside the standard deviation. If any of you are interested about the levels, you can just take a screenshot and you can make it like my chart or my settings. If you don't want, then let it go. Otherwise, just take a screenshot. Later you can set up the standard deviation like me if you want. So the lowest body and to the highest body, to the middle leg, not the first leg, not the third leg. ICT used the third leg. So if you are interested about the third leg, you are also good to go. But I don't see the precision of the third leg, so I really not interested to use the third leg. Instead of that, the middle leg is much more precise. According to my understanding, according to my observation, it is much more precise. Here, the most important level is this minus 1.5 standard deviation. That is the highest priority is this minus 1.5 standard deviation. That means if you are expecting this market is going to reverse and it's going to fall for a long period of time, it's not the reversal. Okay, it's just a retracement so far. I don't know is it going to be a reversal or not, but so far it is just a retracement. I still believe this is going to be just a retracement, not going to be a reversal, and market will go higher again one more time, at least until this minus 2.5 standard deviation, which I'm 90% confident this market will come to this line over here, which is minus 2.5 standard deviation. Why is that? Because minus 1.5 standard deviation is broken by the body. So when the minus 1.5 standard deviation is broken, in my experience, I have seen that 99.99% of the time market reach at least until minus 2.5 standard deviation. Before reaching over here, if you have something around that area that you think that that should be cleared, then minus 2 standard deviation can give you some sort of reaction. So I'm gonna mark this minus 2 standard deviation with a black line. So it will be a black line over here, and this is a black line. This is minus 2.5 standard deviation. I'm gonna mark it as a blue line. Minus 1.5 standard deviation, I'm going to mark it as a blue line as well. Okay. So here, minus 1.5 standard deviation, minus 2.5 standard deviation, minus 2 standard deviation. So when this market came to minus 1.5 standard deviation and market was respecting, you see this candle tap to this minus 1.5, then the very next candle, even though it went higher, closed below this minus 1.5 standard deviation. I was expecting this two candle is going to appear on the chart after this candle. So this candle was not my expectation. It was like out of my expectation that it is going to happen over here. However, market was interested to trade minus 2 standard deviation at first before the reaction. So it came exactly minus 2 standard deviation, which which happened yesterday, and I told that beforehand. So before it happened or appeared on the chart, I told that I want to see this market to go here, trade this minus 2.5 standard deviation at first, minus 2 standard deviation at first. Then market will go toward the sell side liquidity from my 15-minute chart or whatever, or hourly chart or everywhere. Okay, so I'll just go over there within a moment. However, to me, the maximum fall should happen until any of these quadrant levels. So it can fall maybe to the upper quadrant, it can fall to the 50%, it can fall to the lower quadrant. I want to see this market maximum fall is going to happen any of these three line, either upper quadrant, 50%, lower quadrant of that specific week from the daily chart. So if you ask me how long you are expecting this market can maximum fall, it doesn't mean that it has to fall over here. Okay, so I'm not saying that it will fall here, then it will go higher. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying, if it is really interested to fall, then it can maximum fall until this line, that line, or that line. After reaching any of these three line, I don't know which one is going to be traded at first. Then the market will go higher again, and it will come until minus 2.5 standard deviation over here. I'm not bearish. I'm not thinking this is gonna be the all-time high and market is going to fall, keep falling, keep falling. I'm not thinking like that way. I'm still bullish. I would say like that way that market is not bullish anymore. If this minus 1.5 standard deviation hold the market, nobody would close above this line and then it would keep falling. Then I would say that maybe this is going to be the all-time high, and then market is going to start to fall for a long period of time to trade maybe this area or maybe that area or maybe that area. I don't know where it will fall, but it will fall a long period of time. But for now, I'm not interested to see this market to keep falling and keep falling. Okay, I'm not interested to see that. Before going higher, you see this breaker block. This candle simply tap to this breaker block high. So this is the breaker block, low, high, lower, low. From the daily chart, I don't have any other way to look for the breaker block or anything else. So this is the highest up close body close candle. If I mark a line from to the top of this candle and extend it to my right, you see this candle fall, tap to this breaker block high, and then started to go higher, came to this minus 2 standard deviation, rejecting from there as a reaction, not reversal. Reversal means market is going to fall and take the swing low. That is called the reversal. I'm not expecting the reversal. I'm expecting the reaction. Reaction means the retracement. That means market will fall, retrace bullish period until a bullish period, then it will go back to, guys, just 1 second. Here is my buddy. So he just came. I need to send him to my mother. Okay. I'll be back within a second. He's 6 years old. Alhamdulillah, 6 years old. MashaAllah. So I'm just expecting this market will retrace until a bullish period. The maximum fall can happen until any of these three line over here. So this line will be there. I'm going to remove this standard deviation because I left this line over here open here, minus 1.5, minus 2.5, and the middle one is the minus 2 standard deviation. So how long it can fall? Maximum any of these three line, then it will start to go higher again, in my opinion. I want to see this type of things to happen on this chart. Coming back to 15-minute chart directly, and I'm gonna show you this sell side liquidity over here. Okay, so this sell side liquidity, this low and that low, they were the relatively equal lows. So as you can see here, this was very clean sell side liquidity over here. Remember that specific day I was wrong. I was expecting this market will fall, but it didn't fall because the body didn't close above the minus 1.5 standard deviation over here. So I was extremely bearish over here for that sell side liquidity. When it didn't happen and then market came here yesterday, I told that this market has to go to this line at first, not even a single portion will be open over there. So market open around 9:30. This is the 9:30 candle open. The first job it has done, trade that -2 standard deviation. Then market fall, trade this gap. More importantly, this order block, bearish order block. Then fall again. Look at this -1.5 standard deviation. It was working as a support. So around the PM session, I framed a buy over here. I didn't share it to you because no trade is valid before around the PM session of Wednesday before the NFP. That just because of that I didn't frame or I didn't share this setup with you guys. Otherwise, I was saying this was working as a support. It should work as a support because this line is highly important. I don't know how you are going to see this, but this information is crucial. You have to focus over here. This line is extremely important. A perfect support, a perfect resistance. This line, that line, it's not random. I have shown you the way you will mark those line. It's not random. Okay, so something you will say, brother, this is absolutely random. No, this is not random. This is absolutely perfect. So when the body has closed above this line from the daily chart, it came here, worked it as a support, went higher, trade this bearish order block, fall one more time, build the sell side liquidity over here, went higher one more time, and then dramatically fall closed below this line, which is -1.5 standard deviation. Now look at this. Now look at this over here. How beautiful it is rejecting from this line over here, which is minus 1.5 standard deviation. See how beautiful it is rejecting from this line over here, and market fall cleared that sell side liquidity. I was just forcing you guys that this market can't keep going higher. It's nearly impossible. I was wrong because I was thinking it will fall from this line, take this sell side liquidity. Actually, it was interested to go here and then fall to take this sell side liquidity. So in this day, around here, I was absolutely wrong over here. Okay, that is my mistake. I was wrong over here. But one day I will be wrong. Way next day I will be right. The day after that, next day I will be right. I'll be right. I'll be keep right because I know what I'm doing over here. I'm not doing anything very randomly. Market came here, -2 standard deviation, fall, support, went higher, finally cleared the liquidity. Market structure shift, fair value gap, trade this fair value gap, one more time fair value gap, boom, market fall. What did it do? Cleared that sell side liquidity over here. Below this sell side liquidity, I had this swing low as well that has been already cleared over here around that area. Look at this 15-minute chart over here. So market fall, went higher, gave you the market structure shift around that area. That is a beautiful market structure shift over here. Fall, trade this bullish fair value gap, went higher. Lowest down close body close candle is an order block. Trade the order block, leave this gap open, which is an unfilled gap. So this gap should be an unfilled gap. Market should not fill this gap 100%. Okay, so that is an unfilled gap. So what happened? This market fill this gap 100%. So what I'm watching here, low, high, lower low. Can the body close above this candle from 15-minute chart? If it can close above this candle, according to my understanding, this is called the best breaker block if I'm bullish. So as I'm bullish over here and I'm watching this candle has appeared on the chart. So I'm seeing, can it work as a breaker block? So today, what do I want to see? I want to see this market to close above this breaker block, tap to this breaker block, and to go higher for this buy side liquidity. And more importantly, that buy side liquidity here, like all of this, it will be triggered. Okay, I'm not saying it is going to happen, but at least this market will come to this specific gap over here to clear this buy side liquidity around that area. So from here to here is going to be my target for today. From here to here, which is nearly 217 handle. If I find some portion out of this trade, I'll be very happy. Now forget about this breaker block. What else did this market do? I'm going to go back to hourly chart and I'm going to keep over here. Okay. So from the hourly chart, as you can see here, market fall, went higher, fall one more time, failed to clear this low, build the relatively equal lows, which is the sell side liquidity over here, right? That is the sell side liquidity. I'm going to mark that sell side liquidity. Think that I'm wrong. Okay, this market is not bullish. It really would love to clear this sell side liquidity. Then I'll be wrong, and I'll be very happy to be wrong. If I see any sort of bearishness over here, then I will expect this line, that line, or that line will be traded at first. Then the market will start to go higher again. If I'm I get something over there because my bias is bullish and market is interested to fall. I'm not want to see that this market is going to fall. I don't want to see that. I want to see that this market will keep going higher. But for example, I'm wrong. This market really interested to fall. in that type of scenario, if I find something good over here, that is going to tell me that I'm bearish and market is really interested to go for this line. I'll look for the sell from here to until any of these three line. After trading any of this line over here, I will stop trading over here and wait for the market to give me the confirmation. Does it really would love to go for this sell side liquidity? Does it really would love to reverse from this weak quadrant level from the daily chart? So when it will come over here, I'll be in no man's land. I don't know what is going to happen next. Is it really interested to go for this sell side liquidity? I'll let him go. If it doesn't want to take this sell side liquidity, start to respect from here, I'll start to look for the buy over here. I don't want to see that. Again, I don't want to see that. But this can happen. I mean, if it happens, I'll be wrong about my bias, and then I'll just try to find out how can I take that sell. After getting some specific price action, of course, I'll share that with you guys if I find that. So from the hourly chart, what do you see here? That same sell side liquidity is over here from the hourly chart. All of the lows. So I'm going to mark this low as well because this low has been cleared as well. Okay, so this low also has been cleared. Market has traded that hourly last fair value gap over here. So this hourly run. Okay, from here to here, this leg, the lowest gap is this gap over here. Market tap to the hourly last gap. Which one is the most strongest gap? This hourly gap is the most strongest gap. Why? Because this gap is holding this sell side liquidity. So even if market violate this gap, which is the hourly last gap, in other words, this is called the entry fair value gap, last fair value gap, entry fair value gap. Even if it violate this gap, I don't want to see that, but if it violate this gap, it can be respected from this gap as well from here. So after clearing this low, trade here, and then it can start to go higher. I really don't want to see that, but if it really would love to interested the to trade the lowest quadrant level of the weekly candle or weekly week, of course it can happen. I want to see this market to go higher, keep going higher, to go for that all-time high one more time because all the sell side liquidity has been cleared. I needed to see some liquidity to be cleared, and that liquidity has been cleared over here. So from 15-minute chart, this market has cleared all of this sell side liquidity around this area. Trade this one, 15-minute entry fair value gap, which is over here. In other word, that is the unfilled gap. Market should leave this gap open according to the 22 YT model, order block, unfilled gap, everything. Okay. So market should leave that gap open. Market didn't leave this gap open. So when it didn't do that, so far I have this breaker block around here. I will see how this market is going to react from this prior to 930 gap. This gap is called prior to 930 gap. Why is this gap important? Because I'm bullish. So if I'm bullish, I need to see any sort of bullish gap to be respected at first and send the market higher. So this gap, I don't have any importance of this gap, but this gap I have the highest, the value with this gap. If the body close below this gap, I will start to think that, oh, okay, my bias is wrong. Market is not interested to go higher. Instead of that, it would love to use it as a resistance, and market interested to fall any of these three line, right? Remember the three line over here, one, two, three. Any of these three line, market is interested to fall. If this gap is going to be violated from 15-minute chart, it is called the prior to 930 gap. Okay, if it make any sense. I don't know I'm making the things complicated or not, but I believe that it will make some sense to you guys when you will keep watching me to read this market again and again and again. Okay. So I want to see this market to respect this 15-minute bullish gap and start to go higher toward the buy side liquidity, whatever buy side liquidity I have. I think from hourly chart up some obvious liquidity here. Yeah, that is the obvious liquidity from the hourly chart. From 15-minute chart, do I have anything? Do I have anything? I think no, I don't have any relatively equal highs except the all-time high. So either way, this is something like looks like relatively equal highs, not a beautiful buy side liquidity, but it's still some sort of buy side liquidity is over there. So can it go higher by respecting this prior to 930 15-minute bullish gap, closed above this breaker block, tap to this breaker block, started to go higher, and then come at least until this gap over here. I just added these two gap over here, the last gap and the entry gap. Can it come until over here? I don't need to see this market to go above this all-time high. I don't need to see this market to take this high. I don't need to see anything. All I need to see, can it go higher, take this buy side liquidity, and come to this 150-minute last fair value gap. Then I will wait how it is going to react with this gap. If it can break this gap, I'll expect the all-time high is going to be cleared. If it failed to break this gap, then maybe there will be some kind of reaction around that area. So from 1 minute chart, I'm coming back to the 1 minute chart, and in 1 minute chart, you see here, like from the 1 minute chart, what do I have? This high and that high, they're the relatively equal highs. So I have the buy side liquidity around that area. I have some buy side liquidity around that area from 1 minute chart. Buy side liquidity. Do I have any sell side liquidity? I have this sell side liquidity here, which is an obvious sell side liquidity. So let's see how this market is going to open and how it is going to react. Remember, this is the breaker block from 15-minute chart. If the body close from 15-minute chart above this box, then I will be able to look for my breaker block. If the market failed to close above this breaker block, there will be no breaker block. This is the 50-minute bullish fair value gap prior to 9:30. I don't want to see the 50-minute candle to close below this 50-minute gap. If it closes below this gap, maybe it will keep falling. My bias is wrong, and market will is interested to fall any of these three line over here. I will think like that way. All I want to see this prior to 9:30 50-minute bullish gap will hold the market and send it to help send and help the market to close above the breaker block, then tap to this breaker block as a support. Market will keep going higher for this buy side liquidity, extreme buy side liquidity, and trade this 50-minute gap over here. So that is my expectation so far. After 1 minute, this market is going to close. Before closing, after 1 minute, the market is going to open. Before the market open, make sure all of you have pushed the like button. How many people are watching? 82 people are watching, 20 likes. So please push the like button at first. Hey Dora, good morning. Mickey, hi Titu. What is that PDRA just above the main sell side liquidity, the level breaker block, I guess. Oh, okay, that three line, that the daily week quadrant level. Good morning, go 38, Vin 47 watching 16 likes. I can see like 78 people are watching, 22 likes. So either push the like button or you can simply leave the stream, go somewhere else. I hope you will find someone else better than me. I highly appreciate you guys. By the way, we have Apex 90% offer. If any of you are interested about that, they have also introduced the uh, no activation fees offer. So please make sure you have used the code T2T. You have to push the like button or just go somewhere else, guys. I hope they will help you better than me. They're really awesome. Remember, it doesn't mean that it can fall. All I need to see how the 50-minute candle is going to close. I need the 50-minute candle to close inside this gap or above this gap. It can come here. Okay, I don't care about that. All I need to say how the 50-minute candle is going to close. I have the opening gap over here, so I'm going to mark that opening gap as well. This is the opening from 9:30 today. This is the closing 4:14 yesterday. So this is the opening gap, huge opening gap. Any kind of buy is valid over here to me. Any sort of buy is valid to me. So what happened over here? Market cleared this obvious sell side liquidity. Tap to the last gap over here. Just add this to gap over here. Lowest down close body close candle is one of the best order block. Not going to take this. No trade is valid today. Please make sure you are not in jealous. You're not going to go for the trade immediately. Today is a day before NFP. So please make sure you're not over jealous. I will see if the body can close out this candle. That's going to be my best order block for today. Order block to this buy side liquidity over here. From here to here. It's not a huge run. I know that you will argue, but it's just a 60 handle. So can it come and take this 60 handle? I'm just watching it. Word block to this buy side liquidity over here. Okay. Come on. Order block to the buy side liquidity. It's just a 60 handle run. Watch it, learn it, guys. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Chatu. Good morning. Dora. Penguin. Hey, Dora. Good morning. That is really an awesome trade. I'm not going to frame not even a single trade. I'll just show you from where to where this market is going for. Came here to this 15-minute bullish gap prior to 9:30. Go from 15-minute chart. Look over here. How it has been respected this bullish gap. See here, respected this bullish gap. Fall. Take that 1 minute liquidity from 1 minute chart. Took trade this gap. Lowest down close body close candle order block. This candle has closed above this order block. You know the direction. I have shown you the direction. Tap to this order block, that's the buy. For this buy side liquidity is 60 handle, and then you will wait for this liquidity to be taken, which is here, that liquidity, and finally that liquidity to this gap. Okay, does it make any sense to you guys? Remember, 50-minute candle, if it close above this, it's gonna be the best breaker block. So if later from 50-minute chart, if it come back again, tap to this breaker block, I will be able to look for another buying opportunity. Watching this gap, can it hold this market and send it higher? So market fall, take the liquidity, market structure shift, fair value gap, breakaway gap over here. Can it respect from this entry fair value gap and keep going higher again toward this buy side liquidity over here? Remember, okay? Again, fall, take the liquidity, market structure shift, fair value gap, breakaway gap. Can it keep going higher for this buy side liquidity? It tapped. So for the lower quadrant of the opening gap, I want to see this market to come at least until the 50% of this regular trading hour opening gap. From here to buy side liquidity and then the regular trading hour 50%. I'll have to see the body close above this candle so that I can use it as a consecutive order block. This candle doesn't look good to me, so I won't be able to use this candle as an order block, but I will be able to use this two candle as an order block. So after closing above this order block, it will tap to this order block. That is an pyramiding opportunity. I'll pyramid over here and then hold the trade until this buy side liquidity. So body will close above this line, then this buy side liquidity will be the target. I need an unfilled gap right now. So there will be a bullish gap, that will be an unfilled gap. Watch it very carefully, okay? I'm not asking any of you to go for the trade. I'm not going to frame not even a single trade. I'm just showing you how this market is going to react from one PDRA to another PDRA. It is so far struggling to break the lower quadrant of the opening gap. So I believe that eventually this lower quadrant will be broken and market will go toward the 50% because I'm bullish. And it is speed toward the buy side liquidity right now. However, if it go below this low, does it mean that I'm going to look for a bearish sell setup? No, I'm not interested to do that. If it really would love to close below this low, then I will see this candle as a new order block. So market was more interested to build another new order block. I'll watch it as a new order block. Then I'll mark that as an order block. I'll hold that order block to see if it can send the market higher. I'm not watching this as a lower market structure shift, fair value gap, a new bullish trade. No, I'm not watching like that way. I can be wrong. Maybe this will never go higher, but I'm not interested to look for the sell over here. So I'll move this candle from here to here to see if the body can close above this to use it as an order block. This is the breakaway gap. I didn't mark it. So market came to this breakaway gap. Still acceptable. There is nothing wrong. Let's see if it can hold the market, send it higher again. And from 15 minute chart, so far it is an indecisive candle. So market is not like not even bullish, not even bearish. It's just indecisive. This is the price action you should expect before the NFP, because before NFP, this market most of the time is a highly manipulative market. Like it doesn't have any bias. It will just keep doing this type of scenario. So please make sure you're not going for any kind of funded trade today. Please don't do that. No funded trade is valid today. It's not the order block anymore. I can't use it as an order block. It's too so many candles actually. I'll see if it can start to go higher again. Remember, I'm not bearish. I'm not bearish. No sell is valid to me. If any of you are bearish, you want to go for the sell, you are welcome to go for that. I'm not bearish. I'm not going to take the sell. Finally, this market came here, cleared that buy side liquidity, trade this lower quadrant of the opening gap and rejecting from there. I'm interested to see how far does it really want to fall. Does it really would love to take one more time this low and then would love to go higher, or does it want to respect the quadrant level of this week and then would love to go higher? I would love to see this market to go higher. I'll look for the sell if and only if this market is going to close below this 50-minute gap, then I will say maybe for a short period of time market will fall. I don't want to see the 50-minute candle to close below this gap. I'm going to remove it. As long as this low is not going to be taken, this whole bullish setup is valid. I'm just going to remove them because it far too far. Yeah, I mean it came too far. If the 50-minute candle close below this gap, maybe this will be bearish market. I will not look for any sort of sell, not going to take any kind of sell. Or either way, this is not a valid trade today. Hey Nebuloni. Hey brother, how are you? Good morning, brother. Just got here. Hey Sammy. Locked out past number two combined. Great day. Thank you. Boom. You're most welcome. And boom for you, man. Your buy side liquidity too good, but maybe it will take it after 10:30 a.m. Which on? This one or there? I'm more interested to see this market to come over here today, because the most of the sell side liquidity has been cleared over here. So as the sell side liquidity has been cleared, I'm more interested to see can it keep going higher. Does it want to fall? If it would love to fall, keep falling. I'll let him fall. I'm not going to touch this market. So from 15-minute chart, market has closed below this gap. That was really unexpected. I really didn't want to see like that way. Market has closed below this gap. Now I need to see can it go and take this low over here before going higher again. Okay. Yep. I'm not too bearish. I'm more interested to look for the buy. So if it provide me the buying opportunity, I'll go for that. If it doesn't, I'll do nothing. To me, there is no setup yet. Okay. So not going to, this is not the order block. I can't use this as an order block the way I showed you this order block. It's not valid here. It's not a valid order block. I need inverse gap over here actually to frame another buy. It will keep falling. I will have nothing to do. It's time to wait. Remember, today's market is going to be difficult to trade because tomorrow is NFP. But even if it is difficult, I'm only bullish. I'm not interested to short go for any kind of short. For me, all the job is done. So now this market should keep going higher. If it keep going higher, I'm happy to catch that buy. If it not keep going higher, I'll just let this market go without taking any trade. So far, it's nothing. There is nothing. Now, if it keep going higher like here, like this way, the way it is going higher, I will have nothing to do. I'll simply let this go. I need something here that will help me to frame a buy setup. If there is nothing, I'll not frame any sort of buy. It will keep falling, I'll do nothing. But if it would really love to go higher, it should give me some opportunity, some setup over there. The best is inverse gap. So far, I don't have that. So I'll wait for that if it provide me that. Okay, you wanna fall? Let fall. This gap will work as a resistance now. That prior to 9:30 gap will work as a resistance. I'll let this go. Okay, not going to touch it. I really would love to see it to work as a fake breakout and market to go higher again one more time. It's not an order block. Remember, it's not an order block. I'm just marking it as an order block because this is the lowest down close body close candle. It can be the change in state of delivery. But to me, it's not an order block. But it can work as an order block. I'm not sure about that. But if I were trading over here, I would never go for this candle as an order block. This is the order block. I prefer to go for this order block here. But this one, no. I'm watching, can it shift this high with a fair value gap? If it do that, I'll prefer to go for a buy from that fair value gap from the 22 YT model, but not from this order block. Let's see if this high can be shifted. Okay, let's see if it can provide a gap over here uh, to give us a buying opportunity. If it doesn't trade this gap, there will be no trade opportunity. So have the market structure shift. I just need to see, can it build a gap over here now? For now, I'm going to remove this 50-minute bullish gap and the breaker block from my chart, 1 minute chart, and I'm gonna keep it clean. I wanna see this bullish gap to work as a support and market to send it higher, even though it tapped to the last fair value gap. So the reaction will send the market here around there. It's 46. It's not a trade. Okay. So guys, please don't take any kind of trade over here. By the way, there is no gap. Okay. There is no gap actually. I thought there will be a gap, but there's no gap. So this market structure shift is not valid because there is no gap. There is a small gap. I don't like to use this type of small gaps. I don't like to use this type of small gaps. Maybe it will work, but I don't care. I don't like this type of small gaps, guys. Unfortunately, maybe it will work, but I don't know. If there was a gap, that could be my perfect setup. Okay, but unfortunately, this is a very small gap. I don't like this type of a small gap to use as my setup. Maybe it will work, but I don't care. That's not gonna be a trade for me. If you have any funded account, don't touch that today. Please. If you have any funded account, don't touch that today. Today is not a good day to trade the funded account before NFP. According to ICT, we should not trade to the today's market. How much was that run? From here to here, it's 43 handle. Come on, man. Huge. I'm still in long, brother. From 3207, I took partial at 3300. 3207. You took the buy from 3207. So you are still in that trade. Okay. I don't know how did you take that trade, but I hope you'll be successful. I don't see any setup yet, so I will wait here. I'm not going to touch this market. I'm just going to wait to see how it really would love to work over here. Does it really would love to go higher? Does it want to fall? So far, it is consolidating. So let him consolidate at first. Let's see finally what it decided to do. And also, let me see what is happening on ES. ES is bullish. I'm happy to see that ES is bullish. I need to see this market to be bullish. So I have the SMT as well over here. This low has been cleared over here. This low failed to clear this low. So I have a beautiful SMT around that area. Happy to see that. So it can start to go higher. I just need a beautiful setup over here. That's all I need. If I find a beautiful setup, I prefer to go for the trade. Buy. No sell is valid to me. So around 10, maybe this market will go higher. Let's see. I want to wait for this market to shift this high one more time so that I'll get a beautiful market structure shift. Maybe then I'll be able to believe the bull setup. So let's see if it can shift this high. So far, this is the only high I can see to shift the market with a fair value gap. This was not a valid setup. So some of you can see this market structure shift, fair value gap. You're gonna take the buy over here, stop loss below this low, according to the logic, and it's going to work. I don't like to use this type of small gaps. It's against my understanding of this market. So I'm not interested to use this type of small gaps. I prefer something very beautiful gap like this. So I want to see can the market shift this high with a bullish fair value gap, entry gap, breakaway gap to frame another buy over here. I'm only interested to take the buy. No sell is valid to me. Without market structure shift, this gap doesn't have any value to me. Consolidating, I'll let him consolidate. No worries. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's see the 10 a.m. candle, what it wants to do. Does it really want it to fall, or can it go through this, keep going higher? If it really would love to fall and take this low, that is also acceptable until this low is acceptable. So I'm gonna mark it as a red line over here. I don't want to see that, but if it do that, acceptable. Come on, man, do something. This is highly manipulative market today because tomorrow we have the NFP. If you are trading, make sure you are trading either with the paper trade or the eval account. Don't touch your funded account today. If you do that, you'll regret later. I don't want you to regret, at least not today. Come on, market, come on, do something. You wanna fall, then fall. You wanna go higher, then go higher. But do something. Don't just consolidate. So fall, come on. Waiting. This market is simply consolidating. Okay, over here so far I don't have any other trade, so I'm waiting. I'm watching this market, how it is going to work. I'm watching the higher time frame as well. Still, there is nothing that I can make sure that it is bullish, it is bearish. Nothing over here. Just simply consolidate. Sorry, consolidating sideways. This is what happened while you have the NFP just after the after today. Okay, so if it can it fall, take this low over here and then start to go higher, or does it really would love to keep falling? I'm just interested to see that. No trade is valid over here. No sell, no buy is valid over here. At least not to me. I'll watch this market. Can it fall and take this low? Trade this line before framing another buy. No trade is valid. So far, it is trading the 50% of this word block. I need them to be broken to keep falling. Here, not interested to go for the trade. After clearing this low, I will start to look for buy again. Just after clearing this low over here. That is that old 15-minute unfilled gap, if you guys remember. Can it take this low, use this gap as a support, keep going higher? Or does it really would love to keep falling and come any of this line? If it really would love to fall, come any of these lines, I will wait for this market to reach over here, and then I will start to look for buy. If you ask me, I want to see this to take this liquidity, use this as a support, send the market higher again. So it has cleared this low. It will use this same gap over here, and it will give me the bullish setup right now. I want to see that right now over here, like that way. More interested to see to go higher now by using that old same gap on a fall. I will just let it fall. Right now, I'm interested to see can it go higher again from by using this 50-minute gap. This is that 50-minute gap over here around this area. If it really would love to come here around this area or this upper quadrant, which is aligned with this 50-minute last gap, then I will let the market fall until this area. Then I will start to look for the buy. No sell is valid over here. The way it is falling, I'm not able to take any sort of buy from this area. No buy is valid to me. Sorry, no sell is valid to me over here. Like all of this consolation, I'm not able to take the sell. I am only interested to take the buy from this deep discounted area. Just need to see if it can build the setup over here. If it doesn't build the setup, maybe I'll miss the trade. I'm absolutely okay with that. But not interested to take the sell. Not interested to chase the market. That's all. 1 minute candle can close below this gap. I don't care. But 50-minute candle should respect this gap from the 50-minute chart. Imagine if falls all the way to last week Thursday low. That would be crazy day. It can happen as well, brother. It can happen. There is nothing wrong about that. But I'm not interested to see any sort of sell, unfortunately. I'm only interested to take the buy because the reaction, in my opinion, has already done its job. It was overzealous to fall one more time to take this low, acceptable. But it will keep falling. I'm not going to accept that. The maximum fall, as I told you, if my bias is wrong and it really would love to fall, then it will fall until any of these three line. Even though I don't want to see that. But if it really keep falling, I'll let this fall to go. And then I will start to think about the buy. Every single time it will tap here, I'll look for the buy. Tap here, I'll look for the buy. Tap here, I'll look for the buy. Right now, as I told you, I just told you, right? Remember? I want to see can it fall, take this low, and then use this old gap from 50-minute chart as a support to send the market higher again. Can it do that? All I need a setup over here. If I don't find any setup, I'll not take the trade. But if I find any setup over here, I'll go for that trade. What type of setup is valid over here? 22 IT model, inversion fair value gap. Except these two, there is no other entry model over here. I had the word block opportunity here. I don't have the word block here because this word block has already done its job. Here, that was the word block. It has already done its job. So I'm not interested to look for the change in state of delivery over here anymore. So let's see. Maybe it will, I'll be wrong. Maybe market will keep falling from these gaps. So this is the market structure sheet. Fair value gap market will keep falling. I'll let him fall. I will wait patiently until this market to reach here. Then I'll start to look for buy again. It's highly difficult. I know, guys, when you are seeing this fall and you are interested to take the sell, and I'm talking about the buy, it's very difficult for some of you to let the fall go and you want interested to take the sell because you will start to doubt the analysis. Not my analysis, I'm talking about your analysis. That is the place where most of us actually fail. So please make sure you're not going to fail. But if I don't see any setup, of course, I'm not going to take the trade. If I see the setup, I'll go for the trade. So if I don't see any setup, unfortunately, man, come on, please don't go like that way. Okay. Let's hope for the best. Okay. It will give me some sort of setup, I guess. If it doesn't, that's my bad luck. I won't be able to take this buy, of course. But if it provide me the setup, I'll go for that. So far, I don't see any setup over here, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll let this go, maybe. But I'm not going to interested to enter into this sell over here. I'll let all of this fall go, and then I'll start to look for the buy. The best area from here, if it failed, then any of these three line. But to me, that is the best area. But if it doesn't give me the setup, that's my bad luck, unfortunately. Okay, so it's the way it's going higher. I don't think so. It's interested to give me any sort of opportunity over here. This is what it is, man. Sometimes this market do this, and most of the time before the NFP, it is going to do that. It used to do that. Come on, man. Give me something. Give me some shine. Let me be. I hope, guys, you are getting my point. Okay. So when it is falling, I don't give a shit because I know that what can maximum happen. Best area, take this liquidity, tap to this gap, it will start to go higher. If I'm wrong and market is really interested to fall, I'll start to look for buy from here or from here or from here. Any of these three line. Okay. I don't want to see that. However, when it came here, I was eagerly waiting for a setup. So for me, there is two way to take the entry. First, 22 YT model. Second, there will be some kind of inverse gap. Now, maybe you have found some inverse gap. Go for it. I don't care, man. But to me, there is no setup yet. So I'm not able to enter over here anymore. So I'll keep waiting to see if it can provide me any sort of opportunities. To fair value gap entry, I don't want to use this logic actually today before NFP. I don't want to use this logic to fair value gap logic. Before NFP, I'm just afraid of that maybe it will not work. Yeah, I'm not going to take that risk. No, I can't take this risk, okay? Because it is highly volatile as well. To fair value gap, I could use this logic actually if there was no NAP tomorrow. So I'm not able to mark this setup. Okay, I'm just going to surrender. I'm not using this to fair value gap logic over here. It's not something very new to someone. We have already talked about this to fair value gap logic long time ago, lot of times. But today, as it is just before the NFP, I'm just not going to use this logic. First of all, it's highly volatile, as you can see over here. Like from here to here, it's near about 78 handles. So I'm not interested to take a 78 handle risk. So I'm going to skip this to fair value gap entry over here. I'm gonna sacrifice this trade. Yeah, it didn't give me the setup. I'm gonna sacrifice this trade. I'm okay with that. And I will say this is my bad luck. Yeah, I'll say this is my bad luck. Very cruel market, okay? So it will go up. We knew that. We knew that it will go up, but the way it is going up, just we are not able to trade this market. So no setup. It didn't give me no setup. Simply no setup except this two fair value gap logic. But as I told you, it's highly risky for me to use this logic before NFP. I need something very confirm. It's kind of confirming trade. So yeah, I'll sacrifice this trade. It's absolutely good. Let one trade to go. Opening gap low has been tapped over here. Also, this two gap, last gap as an inverse way, this bullish gap has been tapped over here. So they have all been taken. Now it should start to go higher again. So this fall, why this fall happened? To trade this gap, this last gap, as well as this opening gap low. All of them needed to be traded, has been traded. Now it should start to go higher, take this high, and I will wait for this gap to be closed with speed. Guys, today I'm not interested to focus on entries. Okay, I'm focusing more about the price action. So let's see if we can read the price in a better way. I'm interested to see this quadrant level of this week is going to be respected. Any of this quadrant level of this week is going to be respected. I want to see that. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Come on, if it doesn't respect them, it's gonna be difficult to trade here, because in that type of scenario, it has an probability to come to this gap. I don't want to see this market to come to this gap. So far it is respecting the 50%. I'm happy to see that. Okay, not interested to see this to close go below this low. There's a high probability it will come here at first before going higher. I don't want to see that, but it can do that because I need some bullish period that needs to be traded. I mean, sorry, that needs to be holded. So these gaps are still holding the market. Still, that weak low has been cleared. Not good to see that these things. Okay. So finally, if the body can close below this gap, maybe it will fall until this gap. If the body can close below this gap only, it has closed not only below this gap but also all of this low. There's a high probability to come to this gap and then go higher. If it happens, then I believe that I'll find an opportunity to take the buy. If it come over here, I hope I'll get an opportunity to take the buy, as long as these highs are not going to be cleared. If it come over here, I'm going to repeat this. If this market come here, then maybe I'll find an opportunity to take the buy. Otherwise, there will be no buying opportunity to me. Let's see. I'm absolutely okay if it go higher from here. I'm not going to touch this market. But if it come over here, I hope that I'll find an opportunity to take the buy. Let's hope for the best. Come on, man. Fall. Give us an opportunity to take the buy. Let me see the stop loss. 29 handle. That's cool. That's cool. 1 is to 1. That's cool. That's cool. This is really cool. Yeah, this is really cool. Let's see if it can fall to this order block. Now, remember, this is not a valid trade, okay? Because tomorrow we have NAP. But think like today we don't have NAP tomorrow. I would go for this trade over here. If there was no NAP tomorrow, I would go for this trade, okay? At least the partial over here. And then I would try to hold the trade until this buy side liquid over here. If there was no NAP tomorrow. But as we have the NAP tomorrow, I'm not saying you should go for this trade. I'm not saying any of you to go for the trade. If there was no NFP tomorrow, this could be my first trade. Okay, not first trade, actually second trade. After this trade, I would go for this trade over here. From this order block first trade, then this could be the second trade to me for today. Again, I'm not asking any of you to go for the trade. I'm just saying if tomorrow I don't have the NFP, I would go for this trade. Partial here, then would try to hold the trade until that area. I want to see this gap to be unfilled. If there is a gap, I want to see that gap to be unfilled. If there is no gap, there is no trade. I mean, sorry, no unfilled expectation. That could be the partial. If I don't have the NFP tomorrow, then and only then, this would be the partial. I would hold the trade until this buy side liquid over here, until here, okay, over there. And I would try to take another partial to this rejection block over here, around that area, which is 351 level. Just 30351 level. If it could come here, I would cleared one more partial over there, then I would hold my trade until this buy side liquidity. Again, this is not a trade setup. I am saying clearly, if I don't have the NFP tomorrow, then this could be my trade over here. As I don't have, I mean, I have the NFP tomorrow, so I'm not saying to any of you to go for this trade. No seek and destroy, brother. It can be, but at least until now, it's not. I have explained you the things over here, how it is going to happen. If it close below this order block, I want to see this low to be taken. It was very precise. I want to see this low to be taken, and then the market will use this gap from 15-minute chart. So you can see here from 15-minute chart, not even a single body has closed below this gap. So from this gap, market will start to go higher. Unfortunately, I didn't have any opportunity over here to go for the trade. So I let this run go, and then I was watching. I told that I'm not interested to go for this two fair value gap logic. Here it is a valid logic. I just don't want to go for this two fair value gap logic over here because tomorrow we have the NFP. So I don't believe in this shit. So later when I saw this left this liquidity open and interested to fall, I wanted to see this market to fall over here, and I was waiting for that. If it can give me an opportunity over here, I would go for that. Later, when I see that this market fall and respected this weak quadrant level, this upper quadrant level even failed to come until the 50%, then I talked about this order block that I would love to go for this trade from here to until there, which is the partial, and then I will hold my trade until here after clearing another partial around that area if it can do that by leaving this gap unfilled over here. So I think I read the market in a very nice way. Right now, I'm watching how can it fail to close below the 50% of this last fair value gap. So I don't want to see anybody to close below the 50% of this last fair value gap. It's not something where you can enter because I don't have the buy side liquidity, but it is something for your understanding that the last gap should work now as an inverse gap. And for that, nobody should close below the 50% of this gap. So far you have learned the inverse gap, and ICT told that I don't want to see the body close below the 50%. This is that area where you should look for this type of nobody close below the 50% of this last gap over here. If it make any sense to you guys. I want to see the market to touch this line, which is the rejection block, and then to go higher for this buy side liquidity over here. If I had another opportunity, I would try to clear one more partial over here around 364. Partial, hold the trade, one contract maybe until this area. Does it make any sense to you guys? How I'm reading the market, guys? I'm just saying don't go for the trade today because tomorrow we have the NAP. But as we are reading the market, how I'm doing that? Yeah, I let this fall go. I don't give a shit about that fall. If I'm wrong and market is coming here, I'll wait for the trade from there. I'll wait for the trade from there. This is the first opportunity where I'll start to look for the trade. So the way I'm reading the market, how how is that, guys? So far it's a 51 handle. Even if you close the trade over here, for example, you are in this trade and you closed your trade over here, it's 50 handle, man. Come on. It's a huge run. Sexy brother. It's too late to entry. Yes, sir. It's too late to entry. You can't enter right now. I mean, if you didn't enter from this order block, you are not allowed to take any sort of entry. I'm not able to say you to enter from this last gap. I would be able to do that if there was any relatively equal highs, but I don't see any relatively equal high. Okay. Actually, I had the obvious liquidity. Okay, I didn't notice that before, sister. I'm so sorry. That was the relatively equal highs. I think it is acceptable to enter from here. Maybe it is acceptable. I don't know what to say. I think it is acceptable because I didn't see I didn't see it has built the obvious liquidity over here. I saw it, but I forgot that it has left that obvious liquidity. I think it's valid. But as we have missed it, I think we should let it go, man. I think we should let it go. I'll just see it. Can it work? Nobody should close below the 50% of this last gap. And my stop loss is going to be there, just below this, just below this low. Maybe it is not going to work, and I'm cool with that. We'll see. Okay, we'll see another opportunities. I'm just, it's kind of confusing. All I want to see this gap to be unfilled. If it fill this gap, sister, then I will be able to find another opportunity to take the buy. I'm not interested to go for the trade from this last gap, even though the body is respecting, but still that is risky in my opinion. So let the market come here. Let him fill this gap 100%. If it can do that, I'll be able to look for a breaker block trade, breaker block entry. And it's too hot. Yeah, it's kind of scaring right now, right? Because I don't have like, it's already too late, and market hasn't like, it can retrace a bit until any of this quadrant level, sorry, not quadrant level, from here to here, the 6 on 8 level. So it can come near here, okay, which is the 50%, 6 on 8 level aligned with this last gap. So it can come over here. I'll just see it, okay? I'll just see it, how it is going to work. If I see any setup, I'll talk about that. But I'm not interested any of you to go for the trade with me. Please don't do that. I'll just talk about the trade. I'll just talk about the frame, okay? If I were in this trade, I took the partial, I put my stop loss to the break even, and I'm watching, can the market keep going higher? Give me the partial. So far, you can see it didn't give me the second partial level, unfortunately, just by a tick or something. But still, that is cool. Now I'm watching, can it fill this gap 100% and then give me a breaker block buy? So that is the high probable opportunity gonna be for me. Otherwise, if it really would love to work with this order blocks, I'll just miss the trade. Yeah, I'll just miss the trade. I mean, no new trade. I mean, from this order block, of course, I'll be able to take the partial here, partial here, partial, sorry, close the trade here. But new trade, not gonna be sexy. As the body has closed below the 50% of this last gap, according to the logic, these two candles should work as a change in state of delivery to send the market higher, according to the logic. Okay, so for example, I really want to interested take an entry over here, and I took the entry over here, and by any chance I got stopped out here. I would wait for these candles to inverse as a order block, then would look for a new entry from this, from to the top of this order block by putting my stop loss below this candle low over here. I'm not asking any of you to go for this trade, okay? Please don't be rush. Tomorrow is NFP, so please make sure you're not taking any high risk over here. So I didn't also build the order block. This lowest down close body close candle, you're seeing it tapped here. It's an order block. No, it's not an order block. It's not the change in state of delivery, at least not to me. It should be this two candle. to build a change in state of delivery over here, or in other word, order block. If it really interested to work with this order block to go higher. Otherwise, let's see if it can fill this gap 100%. So see, it didn't build the order block, so I don't need to worry about that entries over here. So let's see if it can close this gap 100%. There will be a new opportunity then. This lowest down close body close candle, it's not the order block. So you can't believe in this candle. You have to believe these two candles. So now this gap is still 100%. All I need to see, can the body close above this candle right now? If it do that, I'll be able to take the buy from this candle. Just from to the top of this candle, I'll be able to take the buy. So far, okay? With so much confidence. Not something like maybe it will work, maybe it is not going to work, like the way I was hesitating here to tell her to take a trade. Not like that way. I'm gonna say like this way. I have never seen it has been failed. So let's wait if it can close above this candle. But again, please don't take the trade, okay? Just simply don't take the trade. Today is just before the NFP. It can be highly difficult market to trade. It is also trading the 50 minute, sorry, not 50 minute. No, I don't have the 50-minute bullish cap. Unfortunately, I don't have that. Okay, no worries. All I need a body to close above this line, to take a buy, put my stop loss below this candle. That's all. So my new plan over here is this. Again, I'm not asking any of you to go for this trade, but this is gonna be my new plan. If tomorrow was not the NFP, I would go for this trade as well. After still this trade still didn't stop me out, by the way. But I'm just saying. Keep watching and keep learning. Just need to see the body close above this line. फना हुआ तेरे बिन. 331. Body has to close above 331 before going for the trade. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's close over there. Come on, man. Close. Close out that line. 0. Still didn't close. So I'm not able to take entry. Body C has closed below this line. So it's not a valid trade yet. Maybe I'll miss the trade, but it doesn't matter. But this trade is not valid yet because the body didn't close above this line. Body has to close above that line. It's doing all of this drama. I don't like this drama, to be honest. I need speed right now. Maybe market is waiting for the macro. If it really interested to wait for the macro, that's gonna be disaster because we'll lose our patience and we'll take our irrational decision over here. So I need the breaker block to be built before the macro, and the trade should be created before the macro so that I can use the macro to send the market higher toward my buy side liquidity. So now it is a valid trade to me. I would say this is one of the best trade to me from this breaker block. This is my breaker block high. Wanna see can it go higher from this breaker block now? Bana hua, bana hua, bana hua, bana hua. Need the speed right now, very fast speed, so that it can build the breaker block warder block. Come on, market, come on, come on, come on, go, go, go. Go for Papa. Make Papa proud. Either way, I'm not interested to see the fall, but I really highly appreciate if it can keep going higher. Okay, this is the low of this breaker block. I don't want to see this low to be taken over here. If the mohawk is going to happen, I've covered below this line. Okay, see this line is 302 and my stop loss is 30300. So just two handle below this line. So if it really interested to make the mohawk over here, I hope that I'll be survive over here because I don't have any other station over here so that I could cover. Okay, it didn't actually. So it took me bad luck. I don't have any other station over here that I could hold. I mean, I could cover by my stop loss. Unfortunately, I just covered the two handle below this line. Unfortunately, I don't have any inversion fair value gap that I could cover. So I just put my stop loss below this breaker block. But it didn't work. So just wanna see, does it really would love to go higher by stopping me out? If it do that, when it will close above this breaker block, I would love to go for the re-entry from this breaker block again, because I know that why I got stopped out over here, just because my stop loss was too tight. As I didn't have the inversion fair value cap, I was not able to cover that inverse gap. So I got stopped out over here. It will close above this line. Above this line, I'll go for that rebuy from that breaker block by believing still this breaker block is in play. Wick did the damage and I'm gonna accept that damage. Otherwise, if it take this low, then I will say, okay, no, I have to wait for a new breaker block, which is this high stop close body close candle. Is it going to fall? I don't think so, brother. To me, there is no fall. No fall is acceptable. After getting stopped out over here, I would love to go for new entry exactly with the same stop loss, same everything. If it can close above this line over there. I'm not asking any of you to do that because I know why I got stopped out over here because of my stop loss. It was too tight. So I got stopped out. I'm going to accept that. Come on, baby. How long you will would love to do the consolidation? Tomorrow is NAP. Why the hell you dare to enter today? Okay, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't enter. What a consolidation, man. Okay, it didn't give me the no new re-entry opportunity, so there is no trade. Let's see how far it can fall. Around the same level. How many accounts you blow per day? The amount you have blown, I have blown less than that. I am oversure. I'm pretty much confident about that, brother. How many do you blow? May it come back to the optimal trade entry? Of course it can come back. Of course it can come back. But I am preferring this unfilled gap. When it has been filled, the breaker block is going to work. As this time the breaker block didn't work, I would wait for the I mean, sorry, next opportunity. But as you can see, it didn't close above this, so I have no opportunity over here to enter from the breaker block. And that breaker block is broken, so I'm watching this candle now to see as a breaker block over here. Can it close above this so that I can leave the breaker block again? This is highly volatile market and tomorrow is NFP. So if any of you are interested to trade, make sure you are very careful, okay? Remember our entry was from here. Still now it didn't stop us to the break even. That was the entry. First partial has taken. That was the second partial. That was the third partial. Even though I'm talking about this breaker block, but the real entry was from this order block. So don't forget about that. That trade is still valid because it didn't stop you out over here. So it has closed this gap. It is the only opportunity to add more over here. But if I really would love to enter over here around the beginning, so I would believe this breaker block as it has been failed. I would wait for the new order block to be created to believe it again, the breaker block only, so that I can go for the trade from here to until this buy side liquidity until here. I always go for. I would love to go for the no activation fees always. Trader hub. I always prefer to go with without activation fees, brother. However, if you are trading around here, okay, by any chance you are trading, don't try to look for short, okay? Please. I can be wrong. Of course, this market can fall, but the high probability is over here to send the market higher, to go higher. That is the high probability. That's what I'm saying. If any of you are trading here, make sure you are not taking any short. Even if you're wrong, sorry, even if the market fall, you will miss the trade. You are not going to take the loss. But here, the high probability this market will go higher. It's doing a long term consolidation because tomorrow is NFP, but eventually it will go higher. I'm just worrying why it's taking too much time. I guess it's because of the 11 a.m. news. Sorry, 11 a.m. So it is waiting for 11 a.m. to appear on the chart at first before going higher. I think so. Market is simply consolidating. So try to avoid enter here, wait for the setup, and then the setup doesn't work, good, no worries. But if the setup works, go for the trade. Otherwise, just don't simply enter over here because you are thinking it will go higher, or don't take the sell because you are thinking this will fall. Someone told that it's a seek and destroy mode. I ignored him, but now it is doing that things, just not moving anywhere. Eventually it will go hard, trust me guys. I don't know how can I gain your trust, but eventually it will go higher, I believe so. Tomorrow is NAP. I remind you again and again. Tomorrow is NAP. Today's market is gonna be so difficult to trade. Even though we have framed this beautiful buy, this beautiful buy over here, still that is difficult to trade. So right now market is in consolidation zone. So don't rush. Wait for this market to give you an opportunity and then try to take the trade. So I'll keep this trade here as well because it didn't work and it was 30 handle something like that. So I'll keep it over there. That was a losing trade as well, right? After this boom, I'll not keep all of them because otherwise some people will come and they'll ask me that question: how many accounts do you blow every day? Okay, I'll keep it until there, and I'll keep this as well over here. The trade I have framed, right? Like below the order block, so it's not there. It should be there, and I'll hold it until this area around here. Okay, let's see if it can work. I'd love to believe this breaker block again. Again, I'm just framing this trade because Nas told us to frame another trade just because of that. But remember, the entry was exactly from this order block. So I would love to believe this breaker block again over here until this area, of course, after clearing the partial. Let's see. I have to survive 3 more minutes before the 11 a.m. I hope I'll be able to survive over here. And this time, the breaker block will not make me disappointed. So the low of this breaker block is over here. I have to cover this breaker block plus two handles, something like that, because there is no inverse gap I could cover. So I'm gonna keep my stop loss just below this low. So here is one trade that is a losing trade, 30 handles, something like that. And I wanna see how far it can go. Eventually, this trade should be closed here. This is a losing trade, and this is a winning trade. Even the tomorrow is NFP, remember, guys. And to this trade, I would try to take another partial over here, another partial over here, hold the trade until this buy side liquidity. So let's see if it can give me 30 handle just to mitigate this loss. So 30 handle will be here. Okay. So if it can come until here, I will say my loss will be mitigated by this breaker block trade here. Okay. Just remember that line. I'm going to keep it here. Come on. I just have to survive 1 more minute. I hope I'll be able to survive over here and market will go higher without stopping me out. Still, the partial is not been taken for this trade. Partial should be taken to the rejection block. That should be the second partial. That should be the third partial. That should be the trade should be holding until that area. Oh man. Ugh. Come on, man. Give me 30 handle because I took this loss from the breaker block. 30 handle loss. So give me my profit back. I need my profit back because I love to say breaker. Even today is not a good day to look for the breaker block because tomorrow we have the NFP. But still, I'm trying to show you the breaker block depending on this logic over here. Yes, first time I got stopped out over here because of, like I didn't have the inverse gap, so I was not able to hold that. Okay, that's awesome, right, guys? That's awesome. The breaker block has already mitigated my loss I have taken over here. Good. Boom. Here. Boom. If you're new over here, please hold on with me, hold on, okay? Just don't try to judge me. Don't judge the book by its cover. I love you to show you guys how to read this market in a very nice way. You are going to learn the price action for being profitable. How much this breaker block has given me? 51 handle. Yeah, I got stopped out here for the first time. I told you guys, I was not able to put my stop loss anywhere. So where did I put my stop loss? Just below this candle plus 2 handle, just below here. There's going to be a 30 handle loss over here. I agree with that. I'm going to believe the same breaker block over here. Everything is same over here. Stop loss below this line plus 2 handle. Same stop loss has given me so far 51 handle. It's not the done. It is coming here for 70 handle. I believe so. I can be wrong, you know. And people will start to ask me again, how many accounts do you blow daily? Daily basis. Some account rather. Guys, please make sure you have pushed the like button. You're learning the price action with the wizard. Team, I will be done for the day if we get this buy going should to get 366 first partial. 36 man, it has already given you that. This should be the done. The trading should be done over here. It's nearly 83 handle. Nearly 83 handle. Even if you're not done over here, it should be done over here. When this market came until here, which was nearly 62 handle, you are done over here. Now you are not still done over here. I'm agree with you. I agree with you. So I tried one more trade here, just one trade here, failed. So I took another trade. It didn't work over here. You expect me to work every single trade? Sorry, sir, I'm not the market maker. Another trade, another logic, same logic. Everything is same over here. Just we used this breaker block. Has given me so far 51 handle. I believe it will go for the 70 handle. It should be done over here. That trade I told about this two fair value cap. I'm not going to believe it just because tomorrow is NFP. Just because of that. Otherwise, I would frame this trade from here. I wanted to show you the trade from there. Unfortunately, there was no entry opportunities for me. Unfortunately, okay, this is absolutely unfortunate. So, what else do you need, guys? Trading the last 1 minute fair value cap before the liquidity. Thank you, Vin. You should take a partial over here. Okay, I can be wrong. Maybe that liquidity is not going to be cleared because this is the 1 minute last fair value cap. Of course, it can hold the market, send it lower. I can be wrong because it is trading the last gap over here. I don't want to be wrong. I want to see this to be broken and come here to take this liquidity. More importantly, to come until this 50% area, okay, of the opening gap. I can be wrong, but still, this is what it is. You should take some partial over here. I'm so sorry because I didn't notice this last parallel gap. Thank you, Vin, for showing me this last parallel gap. That is holding the liquidity. This is the strongest parallel gap ever. I have teach you this. You are not going to learn this from anywhere else. Anywhere else. This is random reaction, right? Look at this random reaction. I highly appreciate to see show you this random reaction. I'm just interested to see where is the 50-minute candle low. That is the low of the 50-minute candle. I'm interested to mark this candle low. Okay. The low is 348. That's awesome. So market, where did it came? Let's see if it really interested to leave this gap open. I highly appreciate if it can leave this open as a breakaway gap. Highly appreciate that. Because if it do that, it's not going to stop after clearing this liquidity. It will go directly over here with the speed. So I highly appreciate if it fail to touch this gap and go through this gap with the speed. Maximum, it will take two candle to break this last gap. Maximum two candle. If it can break it by one candle, that is the best case of scenario. Learn the price action with the wizard. Come on, baby, on night, Friday night, while you night. Hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I want you, baby. Baby, it's not good. It's simply rejecting from the 50%, not good. Even if it failed to close above this gap, it should close one tick above this 50% of this gap. Did it close actually? Yeah, it has closed. So now I'm confident it is going to be broken. All I need to see, observe this candle. Can it close above this gap? If it do that, this is not only going to be taken, this is also going to be taken. Watch it, learn it. Come on, man, close above this gap. I need this candle to close above this gap. That will give me the, like the bullishness to this market toward the liquidity. I have explained you why this market will go higher. I have explained you how this market is going to go higher. I have explained every single thing to you over here. I showed you the liquidity. I showed you the maximum target for today, which is over here. I even don't need that line to be taken. Okay, over here, this buy side liquidity is more than enough for being profitable. Your job to learn it, need to see this candle to close. If it close, I'm overconfident this liquidity is going to be taken. Even if it fall here, there is 99% possibility body will not close below the 50%. This is a new entry opportunity. But I mean, what to say, the target is very small, unfortunately, because this is the buy side liquidity. And I have to cover the stop loss below this candle. See tap here, that's gonna be my entry exactly over here for this buy side liquidity. This is that last gap where you are allowed to take the trade from this last gap. Come on, man, take this liquidity. On a write down, boom. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have taken this loss from the breaker block for 30 handle, but I have shown you 70 handle over here. Now you wanna ask me how many accounts do I blow every day? Ask yourself first. How many accounts do you blow every day? This is what it is. I don't know. Okay, what is going to happen now? I prefer this market to come here to take this liquidity and trade this gap. After trading this gap, I'll say, okay, I'm done for today. This is the price action for today. I don't give a shit about any of this price action over here. I'm interested to go for the trade like this way. If I had the partial, I would hold the partial until this line over here from this last gap. See where I'm taking the entry to the top. What did I tell you? If you see a last gap is holding the liquidity, trust this last gap. I don't give a shit, but trust this last gap. It's not going to make you disappointed. It's not going to make you disappointed. I promise you, brother. Oh man, you are the wizard. Man, write down the boom, man. Come on to the comment box. What you are waiting for? You are not interested to write down boom for me? Come on, man. I deserve the boom. I deserve the boom. Why you don't trade CFD NAS 100? Because like I blow a lot of accounts, so I don't want to take the risk, man. Sorry, I blow a lot of accounts, so I'm not interested to blow lot of account over there. Beautiful boom is. Thank you so much, man. Got a couple still running. Managed this trade hopefully to the midnight open, but this was a great trade. Was actually in one different account from 184, but hit maximum profit. Congratulations, brother. So I think I have read the market in a very nice way. I hope so. You guys will appreciate that. You guys will say that, you know, this is what it is, man. Come on. It's not the done. It didn't keep in the boom, okay? This is all I have framed for today. First, order block trade. Second, yeah, I talked about something else here. I told you that this gap is not enough for me to look for the buy. Remember, if it was an obvious gap, I would look for the buy from this gap over there. As it is not obvious, I'm not interested to see. When I saw this market came here and started to go higher, failed to go above this gap, instead of that respected this quadrant level. I told you I want to see this market to take this low. It was a very specific low, not that low, not that low, not that low, nothing. This low will be taken. I can be wrong. Market can keep falling. If it do that, I'll start to look for buy here again, buy here again, buy here again. When it will keep falling, keep looking for the buy. I want to see this market will respect this 15-minute unfilled gap. I'm gonna go back to 15-minute chart and I'm gonna show you the breaker block from 15-minute chart. Unfortunately, it didn't give me the opportunity. So from the 15-minute chart, this candle has closed above this breaker block, but this candle didn't tap to this breaker block. If it do that, you'd see this beautiful boom over here. Right now, this market came inside this 50-minute last fair value gap, which is over here holding this buy side liquidity. I believe that it will be broken and finally market will take this high and it will come to this specific area. That is my belief. I don't need to be right over here. From here, from there to until here, it's more than enough for being a profitable trader in this type of bad market. In this bad market, yes sir, I have framed a losing trade, which is a 30 handle, 31 handle, something like that. Do you really compare with me that? Do you not judge me with this loss over here? I have framed 83 handle profit, zero drawdown, another 78 or 80 handle profit, another 70 handle profit, another 50 handle profit. What else do you need? After getting one time stopped out over here. This is what it is, guys. Learn it, earn it. Beautiful boom is thank you so much because future affiliate is better. Futures affiliate is better. Maybe, brother, I don't know. I love to trade the CME market. This is the real price action, but I'm disappointed. You guys didn't write on boom. Only two boom I got, and you also didn't push the like button. Come on, man. Yeah, okay. I'm getting fed up, okay? Slowly, I'm getting fed up. No worries. I'll stop doing all of these things slowly, but definitely. I'll be active only on Discord with the loyal friends, loyal family members. I'm good with them because they're interested to learn. I'm happy to teach. I mean, not teaching them. I'm happy to share my understanding with them, and they will never get into fall into this type of trap. They will never think about the sell here. Instead of that, they will stay with me patiently to look for this buy over here because they know I'm the wizard. Trading in the zone. Thank you, Boom, for writing Boom, man. I did both. Good morning, wizard. Hey, Jamie. How was your trading today, brother? By the way, what was his name? FKKT6479. Brother, I was just kidding, man. I was just kidding with you, okay? So don't take it seriously. I love to trade the CME data. CFD data is not the right data. I'm not able to read the market in a very precise way. So if I was trading the CFD, I wouldn't be able to put my stop loss over here. Maybe my stop loss would be here or here, something like that. Because the CFD data is uh, not the right price action and it's highly manipulative. But the this market, the Nasdaq market is absolutely precise market. Like this precision is so perfect over here. That's why I'm able to put my stop loss just below this breaker block over here, and I'm going to believe that it's not going to stop me out. If it stop me out over here, I'm not going to get afraid because I know that why I got stopped out over here. I had no way to cover the levels over here. Market was more interested to build another breaker block before going higher because it was waiting for the macro. So you can see this run appeared on the chart. It has been appeared on the chart inside the macro. I prefer to enter in between 1050 to 1110 or 1025 to 1020, sorry, 1030, 1035 until like this time frame. Otherwise, no entry is valid for me. But here, when I framed this trade, you can see here I have framed this trade around 1041. I really don't go for this type of trade. Most of the time, I frame the trade in between 1020, 10 like 10 minutes before the middle of the hour, 10 minutes after the middle of the hour. 10 minutes before the top of the hour, 10 minutes after the top of the hour. Here, like 9:33. Here, around 10:28. Sorry, not 10, 10:23. That on around 10:57. So something like that inside of the zone. Okay, so something like that. Good morning, wizard. I read your and super boom for you. Thank you, Jamie. Team, I wanna sell T2 lol. Please don't do that. If you want to take the sell, you can go for that. I'm not. I don't have the right to tell you don't do that. But I'm just asking, don't do that. Yeah, you can catch some reaction. I have no problem with that. Even if you would love to do that, try to catch that reaction from this gap over here. Otherwise, keep holding the bias until here. So you're not going to get the opportunity to take the sell as long as this market is not going to come over here. Maybe you will be able to fall into this type of trap. See this trap, you will be able to fall in this type of trap, but you're not going to get a beautiful sell or retracement. I believe so. If you really would love to go for the sell, be very careful, brother. Daniel, masterclass, brother. Well done. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thanks for that compliment, brother. I'm playing around, bro. I'm still in a buy. Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah. Man, I don't have any problem if you still hold the runner. So if I want to hold the runner, for example, this order block trade, it has given me so far 181 handle. If I would love to hold this runner, so far it has given me nearly $134. If I would love to hold this last gap, so far it has given me $79. I know that how long I'm able to hold this trade until here. So if I can hold the runner until here, I'll let the runner to go until that area, exactly to the low of this gap. And then I'll close my trade. I'm not going to hold the runner. I'm not going to do anything bullshit over there. I'll just simply close the trade over there. Simply close the trade. That is the logical level before this market to give the retracement or something like that, in my opinion. Okay. So yeah, it's up to you. You want to hold the trade until 480. That's very near, man. That's very near. I hope you'll get that. I'm not going to stop over here. I'm preferring this market to come over there. Thank you, Marquis, for writing boom. And I can see you are back with the members. Thank you so much, brother, for that appreciation, membership appreciation as well. Thank you so much, guys, for being over here. I highly appreciate you guys to be here to learn with, I mean, all together. We are all learning together. I highly appreciate that. Okay. Next Monday, uh, like tomorrow is Friday. So next Monday, I'll give you one Lucid account because I got a commission. I'm sorry to say in live, I don't know I'm allowed to do that or not. I got the commission. So I bought two account. I still have some money. Okay. So near about like some money I still have. I didn't spend all the money, but I have spent some money to buy two account. I have already given one account to Tamimi because he's doing a lot for me through managing the Discord or everything. And the other account, I'll just give it to you on next Monday. Okay. So when I will get the next commission or something, my commission is very small, very small, very small. But still, if I get that, I'll try to buy some more and we'll try to make some giveaway for you guys. Okay. So I hope it will be awesome for all of you because I'm not interested to buy the account for me anymore. I will just buy them and I'll just give them to you. So if you want me to trade, I can do that. If you want me to do that, I can buy and I can keep them. But I think, if I give them as a giveaway, as an appreciation, I think it will be help some other people who are really interested to trade and really want to change their luck. So I don't know what to say, but it is what it is. Okay. Uh, uh, uh. Good night, brother. Have good sleep. Hey, Uchuk, thank you so much. I'm not going to stop. I will just read I'll see if I have something around the PM session. I'll share that with you guys as well. Okay. I'll share that with you guys. Well, $1,497 lol. Close the trade now, man. Team, it's $1,500, man. Come on, close it. Thank you so much, guys. Just before closing the stream, I highly appreciate if you guys push the like button. Highly appreciate it. Okay. Thank you so much over here. I hope you have learned something from this stream. If you really love the way I read the market, just push the like button. Don't no need to pay me something. See you tomorrow or like around the PM session through our Discord. Until then, cheers, guys.